space the two non-humans between Rochelle and Deirdre. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first. Why not?
I was gonna say, swear to God, I'm gonna just point fingers.
Feel like a freaking teacher.
My name is Rochelle. I'm going to be playing Zeredric this evening. And Zeredric is a Rothian. And has been cruising along with this ship and this crew in an attempt to try to get back home. You can find me on Twitter at Pashka_D. I do a lot of RPG tweets, that kind of thing. So I'm looking forward to playing tonight.
Cool. And who's playing Kebachat?
Good evening, all. It's your friendly neighborhood void Calaric here to make sure that you are well, whether you choose to be or not. Hi, all. I'm Deirdre. You see me hanging out in the Twitch chat as Praxgor Thesmiophoria, and I'm here to keep these folk alive. For now. Until the void tells me otherwise.
Let's hope it doesn't too soon. Let's go around to the other side of the overlay with our duo of conspirators and a bodyguard. There's some shenanigans going on.
What? I don't know what you're
There's
talking
no
about.
conspiracy about.
I feel like there's something going on among the smaller races.
I'm not small.
racist.
Small.
So who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, I'm Alex. I will be playing Eddard, the bodyguard, who's also a space marine. Which seems like we sometimes just roll over that part. And you can find me on Twitter at the_gambit. And usually I just shitpost all day. Don't mind me.
Didn't you put on your full suit last episode?
Yes, I
Yeah,
did when
before
we
you
went
guys
to
went
assault
into
we assaulted the rig. I put on my full suit. And I got burnt a lot.
Yep.
I survived with minimal burns thanks to my suit.
And speaking of, you are the bodyguard of another member of the crew.
Yes. I am Duxie. And this is Loxy. My kitty.
Let me go,
very happy about
human.
that. Yeah. So I have an AI that follows me around named Loxy that I created. I'm a gadgeteer, a gnome gadgeteer, star gnome, very small, very rad looking. Yeah, you can find me. My name's Edward or Eddie, as I go by on the Twitch on the Twitters. Brain's partially fuzzy today. Apologies. But yeah, on the Twitters, you can find me as the Pixel Pirate, with the first E being a 3. And yeah, I tweet a lot about art, RPGs, all that good stuff.
I knew I forgot to change something.
It's
It's still your old one. My bad.
my old Ninja
Yeah.
Pseudo.
I'll get that fixed. I'll fire the person who did it. And last but not least, the ship's captain.
Hello, I'm Justin. I work with Mage Hand Press to produce all sorts of content, including this campaign setting that we're playing in today. I'm playing the infamous Captain Zindak, who enjoys wielding law and bureaucracy like a giant hammer. So yeah, that's me, and you can find me tweeting about new things like the Complete Craftsman Redux that we just finished at Mage Hand Press on Twitter, or you can check out our blog at magehandpress.com.
Cool. So before we begin, before we recap what happened last time, I just wanted to let you know that the new donations are all linked under this video on Twitch. If you're watching on Twitch, you have all the panels. If you want to click on the Wizmos, they will bring you to the donation page. We've added a few donations to the game if you are interested. Also, we still have the stream boss going. If you take the stream boss down, you get to create an encounter in addition to whatever it is that you would have donated for. Everything that you give goes to production costs, so if you want this show to last longer and have better production value, I guess. I mean, because let's face it, this is super professional. We need your help. That being said, last week or 2 weeks ago, we've unlocked all of the rooms in the ship. I think some of them have yet to be explored still, but now to replace the old room, it is unlocking new planes of existence, alternate realities that the ship can jump into, aside from the warp. And, well, we'll see when that happens, how prepared the party is.
Not prepared at all.
Oh, please. Of course we're not.
So without further ado,
Speak for yourself. I'm always prepared.
who hasn't done the recap yet?
Well,
I think I did
have.
last time.
Yeah, Eder did it last time, so it kind of makes sense that I do the next one.
Go right ahead.
All right, so I'm gonna try to do this my best. There was a lot happened last game, especially in the tail end of it. But I'm gonna actually focus. All right. Oh my gosh, so much. And Doxy's just like looking on his wall. There's pins, threads, and all these different things going on. And you just see kind of images of the I think it's pronounced Shrithlaki, right?
You know what?
The creature that Shred has been posing
Skitarii?
as.
Oh, the Skitarii.
Skitarii. Thank you. Like I said, brain's been a little weird today. But yeah, so you just like see images of like different sightings, different things that have happened, and all kinds of weirdness, especially as the new rooms have been unlocking. The Hall of Death, like what? And then this like wave of energy that hit everyone. It was kind of a wild adventure. A new area opened where there was a way for everyone to miniaturize devices and all kinds of things. And the whole time, as distracted as Doxy was from with all the technology and new discoveries, in the back of his head, there's always been, well, who is Shred? Something's there, and yeah. So that's basically my recap as Doxy. There's a whole section that has basically been blanked out. Like I don't actually remember.
Recall having a discussion with Zendak.
Yeah. So that's intentionally left out. But yeah, the tail end of things as well. I don't remember where we left off.
We need I remind you of the giant death portal on your ship?
Oh, right.
That's not a death portal. That's a portal to a fridge. Well, freezer.
Well, yes.
And-
So
And to the box of Twinkies that you appropriated.
There are many more boxes available.
So
Oh, those
let me just
Twinkies.
check a
Oh,
thing.
so important.
They are now.
That's why I knew something was wrong with the map.
All those were intentionally left out because Doxy doesn't really care.
So
Of course.
if I were to do this, you'd probably see a bit more on the map of stuff around the portal that should have scared you a bit more.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh, yes,
skulls.
And the spiders. All the spider webs.
Okay. Doxy
Anyway.
cares a little bit more.
And the other one that I can't seem to get for some reason. That might work. There, map there. Yeah. I'm just gonna fix that. It's a bit of an upkeep for us, but there we go.
Yeah.
Nice room full of, well, dead people and spider webs and a giant portal to probably hell.
I love all the notes.
That you guys wrote? Yep.
Yep.
Except for now, this is a fridge. But yeah, aside from exploring your newly found rooms, you have 2 rooms that you haven't explored, 3 rooms that you haven't explored yet.
Mhm.
You also talked a bit, Zendak, with the mysterious spider who said that you should follow the trail of money when talking about the firm and what it is exactly that that they were going to use that laser for. Laser that you've discovered might not necessarily be the most useful thing. It could be just the crystal that is inside that giant diamond.
And I discovered that someone that's equal to my rank had been.
Golden Tree, I think. Or
Yes,
no.
Golden Tree
Golden
had
Tree.
been taking payments for the loan for himself instead of paying the firm, and then saying that he simply hadn't paid. Like the person had defaulted on the loan. So
He'd basically been smuggling. No, not embezzling the money.
Embezzling,
Yeah, embezzling the money.
embezzling
yeah,
from
right.
the mafia.
Yeah,
That's always a good plan.
we found a ton of information actually about the crystal as well that's in the laser, and basically the history behind it through a series of hacking and data dives by Loxy and myself, if I recall. And I think you
I
did some,
also did
some digging as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, Zendak, yeah.
And another thing that happened, give me a quick second. Yes, we discovered through Deirdre's talent or experience as a jeweler or a jewel store worker that such a diamond could actually just purchase retirement for the entire crew of the ship should they want to. You
Or
are-
also get us all killed very, very fast.
Or very, very slowly, depending on how they want to do this.
Either or. You've also learned about a new planet called Tetrakanine. I think Zendak or Adoxy when you were following the lead of where the firm wanted the laser to go.
And again, the order to drop the laser off came from Golden Tree, correct?
Yep, Golden Tree wanted the laser to be dropped off at the Moss station. Where, which was your mission in the first place, to go drop it there. And your ship is still en route to this specific Moss station when we go back into the game.
And first thing I would like to do is I would like to make a call to my superiors
Yes.
within the firm.
Who answers that call?
Well, it would be someone in probably middle management. I imagine that I would be working for someone who is all about making sure that the firm is protected from its contractors' actions, and if a manager were to get sloppy or do something that could, have blowback on the firm dealing with that. I imagine that this particular person would be very concerned about the bottom line, like not only the bottom line, but also making sure, once again, doing anything, regardless of moral qualms, to make sure that the firm doesn't get blowback on it.
All right, and this person that answers, that middle manager, is another halfling who goes by the name of Kithri. And Kithri is a heavily cybernetically enhanced halfling. Half of her face and her entire jaw has been, they both have been redone with cybernetic implants. She's, down to earth, straight to the point, doesn't really have a sense of humor. But she gets things done, and she ensures that, if someone steps out of line, they're gonna pay for it.
Kithri, I've got some concerns I need to bring to you.
Have you gotten the merchandise?
Yes, I have recollected the merchandise and made sure that the citizenry won't be a problem to anyone. However, after doing some digging on some files that I collected from the mayor's office and just some general double checking, as you know I do, I noticed that the funds had in fact left the mayor's bank account and in fact had been paying Mr. Golden Tree for this loan that he took out for this laser, and this money wasn't making it to the firm. And then I forward some files to her so she can see what I'm talking about with the money trail going from the mayor's office to Golden Tree's account, and then but still being marked as,
Yeah, the entire paper trail that you found of him embezzling funds for, for his own gain.
Mm-hmm.
She takes a few minutes to read it, and really, to read it carefully. And she keeps you on the line during the whole time. You can just see her eyes move, from left to right, sometimes muttering, and it goes on and on for minutes, and you can see her, like, let's assume that the files are like transparent, so you can see the text scrolling on screen, and they're like, she goes down, goes back up. Sometimes she searches within the document, she highlights parts of it, and she's like, give me a moment, Mr. Ihill. And she pressed a
yes.
button. And she didn't cut the call with you, either purposefully or not, but she just presses a button on her desk and speaks into a microphone and says, Golden Tree is out. Thank you for bringing this to my attention, Mr. Highhill.
So, Golden Tree had was instructing me to bring this thing to the planet we're going to. Is that what you still want us to do?
I think it was the Ma station.
Or Ma station, or...
It was, I can't remember exactly. It was like just, if it was on the map, I think that you...
Yeah, it's a Ma station that is near Elven territory.
That's right.
That's what it was, yeah.
And, but the laser would then be transported to a different place. So she says, well, seeing how Mr. Golden Tree can no longer pilot a ship, you will be tasked to bringing this laser in one piece and perfect working condition to T'Chaka 9.
Oh, that's fine. But, I mean, Golden Tree assigned me to do this. If you would like, I'd be more than happy to dispose of this vulnerability that the firm has gained from this person's indiscretion.
She looks at her watch. She says, well, it's not too late to call back the assassins. Golden Tree is back in. Keep him under watch. Get to the Void Station and make sure that Mr. Golden Tree decides to take a nice long walk outside. Then bring the lasers to T'Chaka 9.
All right, I can do that.
Nobody needs to know what you are carrying. Understood?
Carrying what?
Good. I trust we won't have any other problems. And she hangs up. You gain 1 renown with the firm.
Bam.
Actually, technically,
Yeah.
the whole crew gains 1 renown. If anyone's interested.
Oh, cool.
Because this was done by the crew. The thing is if one of you decides to ally themselves with another faction and display this link to the other faction, then it might, cause issues. You can't be both part of the Mafia and, let's say, the Paladins. They tend to not see eye to eye on a few things.
Sure you can.
What? I'm sorry. What paladins was I ever going to serve?
I'm just
I mean,
saying.
it's a gray area, really. They don't have to know that you're in good standings with the firm.
Yeah, I don't think the firm actively advertises that, like.
No, but if they ever hear the like, mechanically speaking, it means that
Right.
past a certain level of renown, you have to stick to only one. Like, you can't. We're not in Skyrim. You can't both be the head of the Thieves Guild and the head of the Mage Guild. Like, that, you have to decide.
Simon, you're just straining my playstyle. Like, this is how I play. I joined all the guilds, and
You don't. I make one character
The
per
Mage
like
Guild.
thing.
Yeah.
That's the whole point. I
Okay.
never explore the whole map.
Come on,
I'm
that's a
al-
rookie idea. Gonna
I'm
pump up
always
those
I'm always a member of the Black Hand. Or Dark Brotherhood, sorry.
That being said,
Another name that I call them. Anyway.
yeah, the Black Hand is in another game.
Yeah.
You still have about 2 days left.
Okay.
Before you reach this specific Moss station.
All right, crew, if you could meet me in the briefing room, we've got some things to discuss.
Captain, I would like to vote to rename the briefing room the War Room.
If we were going to war, I'd agree.
But you can't fight in the war room. So obviously it has to be the briefing room.
How do we call it? The stratagem?
We'll stick with briefing room for now.
I should be there shortly.
I just
I'm
have to
finishing up
catch
the
Stella
last-
and my grenades. That's all. I'll be there.
By the way, Captain, when we get to a planet that's suitably sunny, for medical reasons, Lola needs to disembark. Her chlorophyll levels are much, much too low to sustain travel on the ship.
She'd probably be able to get some travel anywhere she needs to go from the Moss station, if that's the case.
Indeed. I'm keeping her under sedation for the moment. I will inform her at the time.
Fair enough.
Zred,
Also, that animal goes with her.
that yeah, I know how
I read
Kevichet
that.
would like to. Zred, as you go up, are about to go up the elevator to reach the briefing, war, strategy, mess hall room, would you mind rolling a charisma saving throw for me?
All right, I had myself muted. Ooh, I got a
Sorry.
20.
Nice.
That's pretty good.
Not natural though.
It's okay. It's a dirty 20.
Still-
But while it doesn't affect you that much, your Rothian senses have like sniffed out
Hmm.
food.
Ooh.
On the
yeah.
ship.
Hmm.
There's a
It's gonna be like one of those cartoons where the person's like sitting around,
you're floating.
just sniffing. Yes, like a Peter Porker moment.
You would know.
Hear this reading. I don't care.
You would know with that check where that psychic energy, that signature, I should say, that psychic signature came from, and it came from the passenger quarters.
I will check that out. I will telepathically reach out to Kebashet and just say, "I'll be a moment."
Don't be too long, dear. He gets annoying when we have to wait for him.
I would imagine Doxy would be like distracted by some like new something in the workshop that he discovered, and Loxy would be like, I believe the captain is requesting your presence, Bossy.
I think also I could go up there very feasibly and put a silent image in the corner, and it probably wouldn't make any difference.
I mean,
I would do that and then go investigate this. But we can come back to that.
Not Kibich, Zred, you've been very silent during this whole meeting. Don't you have anything to say? I like your
then.
silence. Keep your secrets to yourselves.
Exactly.
nice. We're neating this place up.
Oh man. Oh man.
So yeah. Anyway, if we need to come back to me investigating the passenger quarters, that's fine.
Yeah, we'll do. I'll do the whole group upstairs and then passenger downstairs.
All right.
Or I'll split between. Anyway, the focus between the two. So let's start with the whole group in the war briefing, whatever. Which room is that actually? Because I have the ship's map right here. I don't see anything written war room.
Wouldn't that be the kitchen?
It is the.
Yeah, I use the kitchen as the briefing room.
Okay, good. I just
Yes.
wanted to know. I mean, the showers are open.
He's still a halfling. Remember, it doesn't really matter what else is going on. The kitchen will always be the briefing room.
And so you all meet up on in the kitchen. Well, all of you except for Zred.
I'm moving my little icon.
Sure. I mean, they're there for you to play with.
Yeah.
All right, so we got a little change to the objective of what we're doing on the Maw. Well, you see, Mr. Golden Tree has decided to partake in some things that could have some blowback on very powerful people, and his indiscretions, you know, we're going to give him a little walk, you know, long walk out of a short airlock.
Oh, I get to go to work.
Yes. And then after that, we're going to take the laser, instead of dropping it off here at the Maw, we're going to go ahead and take it on to planet. What was the planet's name again, Simon?
Muted. Tetraka 9.
Yeah, then we're going to take it to the planet Trichaka.
Here, it's in the
Tetraka.
Roll20 chat. Tetraka
Okay.
9.
Tetraka 9. So yeah, just a little bit of a change of the contract. Just thought I should let y'all know that when we get on the Maw, we're going to pretend to be nice, and then suddenly we're not going to be nice.
I'm gonna raise my hand and ask, what happened that made us change the plan?
Embezzlement.
Are we embezzling from the firm?
No, that's what the blowback was. Mr. Golden Tree decided that embezzling from the firm was a good idea. We're the cleanup crew. Well, you know.
Oh, okay. I'm happier with that route. It makes more sense than us decided to go against the firm. That
You
would
know,
have been
that
out of
sounds
character
like
for you.
yeah, that'd be a pretty foolish thing for me to do.
So I'm assuming, since we are going into this Maw station and we're pretending to be nice, do I get to dress up? It's been so long.
You can, yeah, you know, if you want to dress fancy, you're more than welcome to dress fancy. You know, I always try and dress fancy. I encourage it.
Well, I'm going to bring my toy out if we're going to have some fun.
You just see like
Oh.
dots.
I don't want to
like,
know. I don't want to
Kind
know.
of like drop in surprise. What?
You know.
Oh, well, I
what-
don't
what
go
you
around
do-
in my full formal robes here, gentlemen.
Do we know about the
nice.
staff?
Zendak does. I
Okay,
don't know if anyone else does.
so for me, you're just bringing out a toy. Okay. So,
Oh, you mean that toy? Sorry, I was like, I don't want to know what you do in the privacy of your own quarters, but yeah, that toy. That's fine.
No, it's okay. I already know what you do in
Thanks.
yours, and I don't need to know anymore.
I don't know what you know, but all right.
There's
So
a
when
reason
you're
all
saying
of your beds
dressing-
are rigged with health monitors.
So when you're saying dressing nicely, is that a double entendre on the fact that you're going to be dressing up for heavy resistance?
Oh no.
No. I'm going to be attending some board meetings, some business meetings. I might be doing some deliberation in court. So I'm going to be dressing nice.
Oh,
if
kill me.
if you were to be going somewhere where business is kind of important, think about dressing like that.
I know exactly what you're thinking, but I don't think I'm not going to accompany you in your board meetings, unfortunately.
It's
Edward, we may be needed there. I don't know.
Eddard, you're there. You don't need to accompany him. You're not accompanying him to a board meeting. You're accompanying us as we deal with a minor problem. And so for you, dressing nicely would mean all the weapons, please.
Suiting up.
Of course.
Now, obviously, something like this can't have any officially tied firm hands involved. So I'm going to have to rely on you contractors to deal with this situation while I'm elsewhere having a suitable alibi in a very public place. So if you can handle giving Mr. Golden Tree over here a nice little walk out the airlock while I attend to other matters, it would be greatly appreciated.
Zendak, you speak as if this is the first time I've done something.
It's not the first time you have, but it's the first time for some of these others.
Well,
You know what? Just to simplify matters, when we get on the mall, until I meet back up with you guys, she's in charge.
don't worry, gentlemen. We're just going to have a conversation with a man. He'll probably have some minor upset stomach that will lead to a minor fit of apoplexy, a giant grand mal seizure, and... well, unfortunately, I just could not survive him in time.
Well, it's important that his last living moments be in that airlock. It's a thing. It sends a message. It sends a very particular
course.
message. Mm-hmm.
You want me to be a little more obvious, I can do that too.
Oh
Well,
no, he
That just
died
means
of
that his last living moments means we get to move him to the airlock.
he died of a stroke in space with 2 bullet holes in the back of his head. Poor man.
All of that happening all at once. What luck.
In the presence of a doctor, no less.
Well, no, the doctor was unfortunately delayed by the malfunctioning airlock door. I just couldn't get through to assist him.
You guys,
Darcy, we really
you
do
guys
need-
have tried. You guys have tried. It's okay.
I really do need to fix that door.
Oh no, please don't stop. Oh, too late.
No, wait.
And-
Come back.
I shall.
This group
I'm
is so
assuming
bad.
since you are going to be busy with other things, Captain, that we might have some extra time at this location.
Oh.
We won't be staying around the mall too long, but I'm sure that if there's particular business that won't take longer than, say, a day, we should be fine.
I have always been wanting to have a conversation with an amoeboid. I've heard of their race, but never actually interacted with one.
Well, for most of the ones that I've met have been reasonably personable.
But I've heard they're fine scientists.
And I got stuff to do, I suppose. Are we taking an R&R before or after the gruesome murder?
No. You have to understand, you need to make it look like it's all one part of the plan. You're stopping at one location, then you're going on to other locations, and you never actually stay very long in one place.
Oh,
So-
I can definitely do that.
It's all part of establishing your current whereabouts. No, of course we were not the last person to be seen with him. There were 6 other people behind us, and we can say that we were right over there from the time of the gentleman's unfortunate demise.
I have
As,
much to learn.
as much as I don't like killing, Edward, you can just come with me and we'll go for a walk.
As long as it's nowhere near an airlock, I'll be fine.
If you're that concerned about it, I have other ways of ensuring that it's not a problem for you, at least currently.
I don't want you to put me under for the remaining of this period of time. I'm okay.
That was not my current plan, but it's always one I have in the back store of me, back of my mind.
I'll be fine. Thank you, though.
Also, Captain, is there anything you would like us to acquire for you as you will be busy?
Before the captain answers, I need
I
to
was gonna
skip
ask
to Red downstairs because things might have happened over the course of these couple of minutes.
Okay.
I gotta say, I'm excited to see Stream Kitty. Hi, Stream Kitty.
Oh, yeah, the audience might not see Stream Kitty, but
No,
yeah,
I do.
He lives.
I feel it in my heart.
He lives. Yes, that little shit who ran away. Huh?
Oh.
You're not going
Look at
outside
his
anymore.
face. He knows what he's done.
Yep.
He's trying to butter you up. All right, so what do I find? I
Well,
would-
you approach the passenger quarters, I figure.
Yes.
There are murmurs coming out. Even though, the ship is mostly, soundproofed, you can hardly hear in, normal times, under normal circumstances, you can hardly hear someone speaking at a regular volume in their room if the door's closed. Because, privacy and shit.
Yeah.
But in this case, it sounds like someone's whispering from the other side of that door,
Okay.
but nothing they say makes sense. They're like speaking in Sim speech, like in The Sims.
Okay.
So it's just a garbled mess of vowels and sounds. But it does feel like it's trying to construct a sentence.
I will reach my brain out to try to communicate if there's something there. My telepathic tendrils.
You hear a robotic voice.
That's odd.
This says, Miss Whitney, do you really think it wise to burden yourself with the past? And then
Yes.
just utter radio silence. You reply, yes.
Yeah. I've probably got my hand on the door and I'm like, yeah.
The voice doesn't
guess.
reply to you, but the door becomes very, very cold.
Well, I will open it.
You open the door, and I will ask everyone on the ship to make a charisma save.
Sorry.
Ah, I knew it.
Or not sorry.
Haha!
9.
This is gonna go super well.
9, 20,
Uh-oh.
23, 17,
Woo!
14. So only Kebichet fails. And will take
Sorry.
6 points of psychic damage as another wave of psychic energy comes out, but this time this wave is not nourishing. It's
Disappointing.
yeah, it's like empty calories. It's like you were hit by a bag of Lay's.
Sometimes it's,
I was
it's
gonna go with
nourishing
Coors
for
Light.
the soul in a different way, right?
Yeah. It's comfort psychic energy.
Yes.
As soon as the door opens, you feel a wave of cold air pass through you, just like with the other rooms. As you stand looking over an empty room, you hear the cries of multiple life forms. Mothers reassuring their children, men telling one another to hold on no matter what. The voices become distant, filled with static. You've heard these voices before as a Rothian. You're it's like music to your ear. You've been in that situation countless times when you harvest a world.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Except that now that everything turns to static, there appears the figure of a young human woman with messy hair and dirty overalls, looking at the datapad. She turns to you and looks at you like you were talking to her, and then she replies, looking back at her datapad. Chet, she calls you. This is all I have left of my family. I'll never see them again. I don't even know if they've reached a higher plane. Her voice quivers. These monsters. What they've done. How they kill. They shred even your soul. And another voice, same robotic voice that you hear in your mind, but nowhere else, says, I could not say, Miss Whitney. Matters of the soul are the domain of the Olden. The woman smiles at you, and then looks up in shock. And that last bit, everyone on the ship will hear sirens blare all across the ship. The actual ship sirens.
Oh.
The woman perks up and fades away. But for everybody else, even you upstairs, as Kebechet asked the captain if there was anything that you should procure, you know, red lights start blinking, the loud horn starts blaring. The entire ship seems to be on, high alert, yet Twitch is oddly silent.
Doxy, what did you do?
Yeah, I was about to say Doxy would have immediately like a hard light interface pop in front of him, and he'd be like, I'm not sure. It looks like something has triggered an alarm, but I can't determine what it is. If I could dig into and do a roll, maybe to figure out something.
Yeah, actually, you and Eddard, if you're looking over his shoulder, you can both make a straight intelligence check.
Oh,
Just
that's
straight
gonna end well.
Yep.
I will have telepathically probably reached out to Kevashet with that information as well
Okay.
Yeah.
about what I saw, because she
I
know
would've-
what
I
was
would
up
have
to.
reached out immediately as soon as I felt anything that went through. Would be like, Shred, are you well?
We were like, oh yeah, but
did you
here's all
break
the
now?
details.
Okay. Terrible. Well, not terrible.
And
12.
It looks like the ship is not in the same place it used to be before. You can't really know for sure where you are, but you've jumped out of the warp. It lasted for a few moments, then you jumped back in.
Is that
So, yeah.
that happens?
Eh?
Sorry, say that again.
Is that something that can happen, that we jump out and then suddenly jump back in? There's not like a cooling period or anything like that?
You would need to have some very powerful wizards just cranking the dark matter engine over and over, and have a very powerful dark matter engine.
Which we don't have any of those things.
Well, you have a dark matter engine, otherwise you...
Yeah, but it's not cranking. It's just
Well,
chugging.
where's your wizard?
Where's our wizard? We have a wizard?
You have a witch. Does that count?
And a gadgeteer.
Because otherwise someone has to be down in engineering to use it.
Yeah. So, just to clarify, so what Doxy would see on his basically, I would kind of imagine that Doxy has a remote link to some kind of interface, so he doesn't have to go up to an interface wall or anything like that. He just projects it in front of himself, and he would basically see that the ship dropped out of its warp factor or whatever bubble, and then went straight back in. So like there was a momentary kind of glitch or pop that happened.
It looks like it. Except that
Okay.
the ship doesn't register any errors.
Okay.
It doesn't register anything. Like no one's tampered with the engines, with the dark matter
Right.
engine.
Right.
The alarms are still going on, but there's nothing that tripped them.
Okay. Doxy will I guess turn off the alarms because they're not helpful. And what is it? It seems we momentarily dropped out of our warp field and disengaged, but then went back in. I don't see anything that actually that broke. So, and Doxy kind of just goes off on a little rant and starts mumbling to himself about like digging into this and trying to figure it out. But yeah.
Are we still on track for our rendezvous?
I'll defer to Simon. Does it seem like we're back on track?
Yeah, you are. Well, you're 5 minutes later, but
Okay. It seems like we've lost a little bit of time, but not much. It's very strange. Shred,
She's
you
just
know
a
anything
silent
that
image in
happened-
the corner.
yeah. Shred,
Which I love that if you look at it with your, if you look at Zred's silent image, it's going to look exactly like Zred looks normally with the Arcanus vision because it's just a field of illusion.
oh,
Just like the
right.
hat of
I
the skies
totally, I
is
totally
Yeah.
see
illusion.
it. Totally see through the illusion.
it's just
Oh, no, you don't see through the illusion.
You
You
just
just
know
see
that it,
it's the same
Yeah.
aura.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Oh man.
Because you
Yeah.
detect the school, but it's the same school, so
yeah,
it.
it's the same school, so I just know that you always got some sort of illusion going.
Mm,
Oh my
Yep.
gosh. Oh, the plot thickens.
and I just kind of send mentally back, this is quite really funny. He's attempting to speak with you at the moment. And there's just kind of running commentary going back and forth between Shred and Gemchet about
Oh yes.
So
about
Doxy,
trying to talk to a basically a picture on a wall.
it's a cardboard cutout.
Oh, that's even better.
It falls over.
Oh, here, let me help you up. I can put you back up. None the
so-
wiser.
So Doxy would finish that statement and say, like, did you sense anything with that energy there? You always seem very sensitive to the psychic energies.
Just silence. So you're probably like, well, okay then, be that way.
Yeah. That's exactly what he said. He's like, okay. Like, I'm sorry about that time in the kitchen. Okay. It was very frightening.
She's giving you the silent treatment.
Yeah, totally.
Doxy, what did you do? She's giving the silent treatment.
I don't know.
So do I see anything else in those private quarters?
Do you? Yes. The ship. The ship emanates a faint psychic signature that didn't exist before.
You mean the whole ship?
The whole ship.
Oh,
Ship's pregnant.
I mean, there's a
It's-
smaller ship in one of the hangar bays.
Ah, Jesus Christ. If you want to play Farscape, I'll just get my Farscape RPG book out.
Fine.
No,
it's fine.
that's
wait,
good.
there's a Farscape RPG?
Yeah, there is.
Yes.
Oh my god.
So,
There's an RPG for everything, man.
yeah, it's like Rule 35. You don't... It doesn't have an emotion. If anything, the emotion, that generates the psychic signature is, like, emotion. Like, the very concept of... It's nothing else. It's just, it's there. There is, like, a consciousness, but it is so basic, so... I couldn't even say animalistic. It's less than an animal. Less than... I don't know. Than a parasite. It's like as psychic as a unicellular organism.
Basically, there's like some sort of energy now emanating from the entire ship.
Yeah, like you could gain sustenance from the ship by licking the walls.
I can?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's not the best, and it doesn't feed you a lot, but it, you know,
You don't starve.
it's
Okay.
well, no, they're gonna starve, but not as fast.
Okay.
It
Alright.
it just prolonged your countdown timer to you don't know.
Okay. Yeah, I've got a trickle instead of a instead of an absolute, you know,
Yeah.
ceasing of nourishment.
No, that's it. It's just the entire ship would not even provide enough nourishment for a day.
Mm.
But the energy never goes away.
It's kind of like a salt lick, where it kind of sustains you a little bit, but doesn't really give you a lot.
Yeah. It's like
I
psychic.
just
It's like a gum.
sit there and just like, ooh, I'm steeping in it. Even though it's not doing a whole lot, it makes me feel better. Like I said, that piece of gum when you're trying to quit smoking or something is like,
Yeah.
Oh, it gives that little edge of the nicotine.
Like,
But there's
Yeah.
also, you recognize it like in the spices of it.
ooh.
The signature is Rothian.
I like where this is going. I probably just sit there like, yum, yum, yum.
But it tastes like back home.
I think I'll probably just like, if anybody came down there and looked, I'd be like just sitting in the corner, just like, oh, so like that really sad. Like I want to be home. I want this to be real. But then like earlier when the ship, like I thought that we saw Rothian ships and then they went away. And it was just an illusion. Like I'm waiting for that moment. But I'm gonna enjoy it while I can.
Gently singing to yourself, "Sweet home, Rothian space."
Exactly. Like, oh. And I'll probably reach out to Kevish and be like, can you feel it? Can you feel it?
I very much feel your enjoyment of it, dear. I'm not quite as psychically inclined to feel it, but in this particular moment. However, they're starting to get questioning, so you might want to return. You can always go back to your salt lick later.
I will begrudgingly do so after a short amount of time.
The
Like where
alarms.
you keep looking back, just like,
Oh, but it's all over the place, not just the passenger quarters.
I know, but that's where I found it.
It's yeah.
That's the only-
It's like point zero.
yes. I
Ground
might
zero.
relocate my room in there just so y'all know. I don't know.
Get the six beds to yourself.
Nobody else will want to be in the same room as me, so why not?
Well, you need
Put all
more
the beds
space for your
together.
experimentations.
She's
You need
turning
more
it
space
into
for your
her.
experimentations, of course.
Very true.
She's turning it into her witch den.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
Mm.
goodness.
All her black magics.
Yeah, after a minute or so, the alarms stop.
It's about time.
Oh, I thought I
Which,
turned those
right?
off. But yeah. Okay. Nope, they didn't turn off.
Thank
so the
you,
whole time
Doxy.
I was
Thank
the whole
you.
time I was like trying to turn them off and
There were no alarms.
what? Oh.
Like I told you, nothing happened. Everything
Okay.
was perfectly fine, except, yeah. Clearly it wasn't. Sorry, go ahead, Justin.
I still 100% blame Twitch for this. Twitch, what was with the alarms and the dropping out of void space and jumping right back in?
Void space. That's what I was trying to do.
Well, that's because you requested it.
No, we didn't request nothing.
Twitch, are you well?
Well, yes, I am.
Twitch is never well.
We're at the Moss station, so I dropped us off of void space.
What?
We're already at the Moss station?
Yeah, you are.
Doxy immediately pulls it up on screen.
Yeah,
trying to-
now you are.
Did you notice
Uh,
that we made a stop midway?
We never made a stop.
Are you
Captain?
joshing me?
Okay,
I'm not.
Twitch
we
is
never.
being twitchy. Don't worry about it.
Not being
Captain?
twitchy. I'm
No,
doing
no,
my
it-
job to the
You're
best of
always
my
twitchy.
capacity.
You are
Okay.
doing a fabulous job.
And I'm pretty sure he's right. We must have experienced another wave of weirdness.
Why can't you all be like Zred here and, not say a word and keep your mean insults to yourselves?
I'm not insulting you.
No, darling, remember, it's not Edward or I who are insulting you. It's merely other people.
Look, I brought you to the Moss Station. Here we are.
You did a fabulous job.
Thank you. If I could high five you, I would.
There's a hand that comes out of the wall.
What? Whoa! I'm gonna back away from
It's like a
it.
robotic hand with a white glove. He goes, "Don't leave me hanging."
Doxy tries to high five it.
You high five a glove. It goes back in the
Well,
wall.
I'm completely confused as to why a ship would need hands.
There's
Twitch,
one.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say there's one. One in each room.
Twitch, I am continuously fascinated by the things that you have at your disposal.
I am full of surprises. Sometimes I amaze even myself.
I wish to continue to explore those. We must
Or-
have longer talks, Twitch.
Are we currently sucking up to a ship?
Yeah, we are.
I'm already like getting ready to go and do completely
So that's
legitimate business while they do completely legitimate business.
Yeah.
Doc, Captain, if you have no further need of us, I have a patient to revive and transport, and I have another patient I need to have a conversation with, apparently. Also, I need to get Shane.
Yes.
Ooh, I got it.
Absolutely. I'm headed out myself.
Edard,
Yes.
Doxy, I'm sorry to say this, but you're not quite tall enough for what I need at the moment.
That's fine.
Be yourself. Be your fabulous self. Edard, could you be professionally imposing but very put together? You're about to become an escort for a diplomat on this Mars station.
Absolutely. Let me get dressed to the ninth, and I'll be right there with you.
Did I get some sort of information on where Golden Tree would be expected, Simon, that I could pass on to them?
Yeah, so Moss stations are these, floating. They're in space. But space stations built around the bones of an enormous dragon-like creature. It's on the cover of Dark Matter. You've seen it. The portal to go into void space sits in the maw of that particular creature. And for simplicity's sake, let's assume that each vertebrae has buildings built upon it, and the firm and the banks are on the fifth vertebrae. If you need to, there's also inside the skull, there's the entire marketplace with a bunch of stuff. There are residential quarters. Later on, the farther down you go, this creature doesn't have a lot of vertebrae. It's basically just a skull with a collection of pieces of the spine, and one half broken could probably be a shoulder blade. All floating in space, connected by tunnels.
Okay, so it's not just head of vertebrae like I saw on the cover.
No, it's
It can be different bone pieces.
yeah, that's it. It's not necessarily the first 5 of them. They're not connected either. Who knows where the rest of these bones went? Who knows what these creatures were? But there's a shit ton of them across the galaxy. They're actually surrounding the whole galaxy. Thank you.
Oh.
And to answer Thragon's burning question that is about to come up. The emotes are being drawn at the moment. They've been paid for, and you are gonna all have emotes and badges very, very, very soon. That being said, before you dock, there's a voice that comes up through your interface inside the ship. Well, hello everyone! Might I have the ship registration, papers, name of the pilot?
Is this an intelligent life form?
I like immediately try to convert to my universal translator to see if it's
They're requesting our itinerary and the name of our pilot.
ah.
Oh,
And the ship identification paper.
And of course the identification papers and numbers.
Gotcha.
This is how I'm gonna play all my amiibos from now on. I'm made of jelly.
I like it.
And evil amiibos are gonna sound as close to Richard Nixon as I can.
Oh,
I have a plan. You will never catch me. My fellow American. Alright.
all right. I would like
So
to
I'll
nominate
forward our
Simon for an Oscar
preparation.
just for that.
Alright. Is the ship legal? And if so, I'm asking you, the crew, is your ship legal? And then is, if it's legit, what is it marked as? What's the business of that ship?
I would definitely say that if it wasn't legal already, Doxy would be able to falsify at least digital documentation.
My
So-
guess is the ship is not legal, as it's a one of a
that's
kind.
where you would be wrong.
What?
Everything that the everything public facing the firm does is legal. It's what firm does when no one's looking that is illegal. So this ship is completely certified and registered as, legal. Like my character practices law, and this is the ship that he gets around to, attend court.
So it's a glorified limousine. Or
Yes.
a glorified Uber. Okay. Alright.
Yeah.
So this is basically your personal ship.
Yep.
Zendak Highhill Esquire.
Okay. And then they asked for the pilot.
Yeah, who is your pilot?
Well, it's Lola, isn't it?
Well,
Yeah, but
theoretically, no, because she's out, unconscious
taking
at the moment.
Yes.
And she is. So basically, the reason why they're asking for it, and you've probably traveled enough, is that as the pilot, you'll be, the one in touch with whoever's in the control tower.
It would probably be me then.
So if anything happens, is on you. Like if you destroy
Yay.
property with your ship, if you can't park straight, all that stuff.
If they tell you to stay between the line, please stay between the line. There might be a big asteroid coming your way.
So you, yep.
I was going to say, as a note, Doxy would probably have a couple of aliases that he's used.
Let me get a paper out. All right, give me all your fake names.
Let's see. Actually, I have a list somewhere, but for now, I'll just make one up. So he would probably sign on as. Oh, what was it? Zaku.
All right, anyone else signing in as a
AQU.
ZAQU?
AKU.
Yeah, Zaku.
Listen here.
What?
Trying to find another one that I can use.
Oh, did
I'll sign as Dom. DOM.
What's going on? What's happening?
Nothing.
What?
Why am I oblivious to something and...
Don't ask.
Who's signing in as Maverick?
Oh, you sons of bitches.
Dude, I was trying to avoid that, man.
Alright, who signs on as Maverick? Let's just do this.
Oh, no,
I
no.
vote Zred's Maverick, and I vote that Kebochet is Goose.
I think it's Red
No.
probably thinks every pilot is Maverick or Ace, like after watching movies or something.
Yeah,
Just what
well,
they're called.
I was gonna call myself Iceman, but
Well, if we're gonna go that
I
way,
would
why
have gotten that reference. I would have
No,
remembered.
Kebochet doesn't sign on as any of those. She merely, if you are asking for her personal identification,
No, they're not. They're gonna ask, but the DM is asking for, like, what's your go-to fake? So I don't have to ask every time.
she only travels under her one name, Kebochet. Kebochet of House Andahar. As a cleric and ambassador, she has full diplomatic papers.
Ooh. That's not something I knew.
the eyebrows raised.
Oh,
I, mean,
I
they were
got two of
probably known as
those.
Void the moment she started worshiping the Void instead of the sun, because the Avid Ra are like super huge fans of the sun. You know.
They love it. Zendak,
I
do
don't
you
know. I don't know what your story is, but
do you introduce yourself as with an alias or not?
no, I'm using Zindak. I'm
Okay.
here for completely legal
Alright.
reasons. I've got to represent my client. I've got to arbitrate. So,
Good, good, good.
I'm not doing anything illegal.
All right, so coming off the ship is Zendak, followed by Doxy, and then followed by Kebochet, with an entourage of bodyguards, Eddard, and another man.
Yeah, so I would be transforming myself into a slightly taller, or maybe a
You go somewhere new, so you just like boost yourself by a few inches.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm like slightly taller.
He's wearing
Platform
platform.
yeah. All right, yeah, let's go with that. That's great.
He's
Okay.
ready to hit the god's raves.
Yeah, so like the eyeshadow is way darker than normal. There's like giant platform shoes.
This is a freaking parody.
Buckles, lots of buckles for some reason.
Yeah, just like loose, like things just kind of like dangling off a little bit.
Zippers for no reason. Yep.
I think we've all been there, right?
Goth gnome.
All respect and love to all the goths out there.
Yep.
Please, of course.
And all the people cosplaying any character from the Kingdom Hearts series. So, Goth Gnome, Dapper Halfling, Majestic Priestess.
Oh, she went and got her toy. This is just a very, and you see it and some of you might have only seen it for the first time. It's a full, long staff that looks almost like a sun staff that you're used to among the Avira, but instead of a bright diamond or a crystalline center stone, it's a large, almost the size of your palm, black opal with large veins of reds and greens. And it
Fancy.
stands about her height.
And following Kebochet is also Willem Dafoe in a wig.
Yes, finally glasses, skirt, weird fitting tank top, the whole 9 yards.
You just picked up stuff you liked on TV and you were like,
Yeah.
I want to wear this.
This isn't a popular magazine. Why not? That's okay. We'll make that work.
That's how humans dress, isn't it?
Okay. I feel pretty.
And Kebochet's just like, you look fabulous, dear. It works every time.
And the first
I believe you.
The first life form you encounter coming out of your ship is actually this duo of amiibos, hauling like a giant tube pipe to your ship to refuel it. There's an amoeboid. They're amoeboids, right? I can't remember exactly the name. Justin, help me.
The amoeboids?
Amoeboids?
Sorry.
That's how you pronounce
Yep.
it? Cool.
Yeah, amoeboid. Yep.
There's
Amoeboid is not pretty
Or
trademark.
gooboy is also an acceptable pronunciation.
which one? Goo Boy?
Gooboy, yeah.
All right. There's also a third amoeboid, a squeegee, trying to go up your ship's windshield.
Wait, guys, wait. Twitch is gonna zap him. Just wait. Come on,
And you
Twitch.
just hear Twitch say, "Oh wow, my, thank you."
Oh, he's actually liking this. Oh.
Well, when was the last time you actually were on the outside cleaning, Twitch? By the way, we have some like floating stretcher with an unconscious Lola
Mhm.
and an unconscious Stella just kind of floating along next to me.
You can wake them up whenever you want.
Oh no, they're going to be unconscious the entire time. Up until because I'm going straight to the infirmary on the small station and registering my patient as they need they need to be medically transferred to a planet with a higher level of photosynthesis for them.
For all intents
time
and
in the black.
purposes, they'll be brought back to her grandma's ranch. Also, because she comes from that place, and we know, it's one safe place that they know she can survive.
Yes. Her time in the black seems to have stymied her internal photosynthesis, and I'm concerned about her health.
Good enough. We'll take care of it.
Also, the mammal that she travels with, the thing, I'd keep it unconscious as long as possible. It seems to like,
Mischief?
well, that and also causing you to need to re-disinfect your infirmary on a regular basis.
Duly noted.
I do thank you for your time.
I can't wait to find out how Stella sneaks back onto the ship.
She's unconscious. How is she going to sneak back on board the ship?
I feel like Kevichet is making sure there's no way for Stella to come back.
But
There's always a way.
no.
That thing was floating in space with a grenade. It will find a
No,
way.
he wasn't in space. The grenade was by itself. He was outside. She was out in
This whole
Doesn't
time,
matter.
that Stella that you had put unconscious is actually the mock.
No, I always know where the mark is. I'm the only other person on this ship that always knows where the mark is.
That being said, you were heading out to the infirmary first to take care of Lola, but so we have 3 parties right now. We've split into 3 parties. Zendak, where do you want to go?
Well, I need to take care of my clients, so I'm going to. I'm assuming that there's probably some court cases on the docket that I'm expected to handle.
Sure. So you'll head to
Whether it be
Okay.
space court.
Yeah, that's it. You had to. It's
Is it
Like-
as entertaining as Night Court?
it's what you'd think of as nothing more than the office of whoever's supervising this this mall station. But that person being the closest to a judge you can have is where you are going to handle your lawyery business. While you do that, and I'll get back to you in a moment, Doxy, where do you go?
So I am thinking that after talking with Zendak prior to departing, I'd probably head towards kind of like towards a club of some kind and find myself like a dark corner. And yeah, I know the ideas are brooding. find myself a
Keep going.
so find myself a dark corner, and just kind of like get into the zone. All that is a distraction. I'm actually interfacing with the security systems. So I'm going to find a corner that has like a panel or something like that I can interface with, I'm going to interface with the security systems and essentially assist Zendak in kind of falsifying some records to make sure that we kind of hide all the breadcrumbs and trails that could be left behind when we take care of business.
All right.
So I'll be kind of there in the background, waiting for things to go down.
Cool. The panel is behind a curtain next to you, so you have like you're just with your back lying against the wall, and you're trying to hide your cables connecting to. Unfortunately, the walls also double as speakers.
Yeah,
so
of course.
You are constantly
Fine.
being
no, I'm
moved to the
totally I'm totally into it though. I'm totally like, it's like I can code to this. All right, let's go.
It's essentially Sisters of Mercy in space. That's all that's playing.
Before I go, I would nice. I would probably look to Shred and be like, hey, do you wanna pull a prank?
Which is red
Yeah.
because it's a
I don't know
human.
if you've seen this figure before. That's the one thing I was going to ask you.
Oh, you changed.
I'm not a Skithari at this moment.
Oh man.
I'm Willem Dafoe in a wig with sunglasses and the terrible and like in a cheap wig too. You might look over and be like, "What the?" Like, who are you? Where's Red?
The wig is actually not part of the disguise self. It's just a physical wig that
It is.
Red
It's
bought.
not even on right. It's a skew.
You could do it with magic, but it's like you had to buy a cheap ass wig and put it on.
Yeah, it was a space wish buy. Okay, it was $2. $10 shipping, but hey, it was worth it.
Totally. To clarify though, because I have the visor, or I probably have the visor kind of just always on, especially in this goth mode. So I would see the magic. So I'd be like, oh, that's the same magic that I normally see on Shred.
It's always just illusion.
Yeah.
Shred is always shrouded in illusion, whatever it is.
Yeah. Oh God. So
I would join you though on pranks, and
okay.
But I do want to keep a close eye on Kebichette though. If it came down to it, I would do the prank, but then also go and skulk around following.
Okay. So you'll just be kind of a lurker.
Probably.
Well, you have time for prank while Kebichette is going to the infirmary.
And doing stuff like that.
Yep.
Okay. So I'll just kind of like pause my scene until we get to.
And after the infirmary, Keb and Eddard, are you going straight to Mr. Golden Tree?
So it's just the two of us?
Well, we'll be with Zred. You guys can all talk to one another anyway.
Yeah, we can all talk to one another, and we can always communicate via the communicators, and we can always have those level of communication.
So what's the area around us like after we go through the infirmary?
Have you seen Babylon 5?
Yeah, a little bit.
So it's like this.
It's been a while.
Think of it as like this one big room that doubles as a hall, if you will. There are tables outside, like terraces. It's like an indoor street with.
It's a promenade.
It's a promenade. Yeah,
Like a convention.
Like a convention or a mall or shopping mall, kind of the same thing, except that this one is made in a semicircle instead of just like one long line. And then at each end of the semicircle, you can take a transport that brings you to the different vertebraes. So the infirmary is one on the outside, and so is the bank and everything. So you'd have to go back into the promenade and then back out. Which means that, by you can easily all regroup, is what I meant.
Okay.
Do we see any... Might sound a bit like an odd question to ask. Do we see any children begging for food or for money?
Nah.
No.
No, this
Okay.
is like an airport.
Oh.
Those that are there because they, in a way, belong there.
Okay.
No one stays for very long. Everyone's passing to or from somewhere.
Yeah. And then
So
like
there's
a
no
small-
actual resident of a mall by itself. You wouldn't be able to find.
I think the only
There's
the
probably some people. There's a number of people that live on a mall,
Mhm.
but for the most part, it's a pretty high transient.
Yeah.
Okay.
The
From-
Emiboids, the Goo Boys, live
Good
on the mall.
boys.
Are they usually living here? Like in all the malls, you're gonna have them live here because it's like their environments. Or-
Yeah, it's like their natural habitat is a bunch of bones in space.
I think that's
They're old. They're very, very, very old.
yeah. It's where like the other races found the Amoeboids is in the mods.
Yeah.
Okay.
Eddard. We have some business to take care of. I believe I have an appointment at the bank to visit my safety deposit system. Dred.
Yes.
Keep
of
an
course,
eye
this
on
is
us.
just telepathically, of course.
Well, no, I would say into the communicators, Dred, keep an eye on us, and then I'd say telepathically to you, whatever you do with the doxy, please make sure that there's footage of it later.
To the subtle nod. You know what that
the
means.
telepathic nod. Yeah.
Right. Also keep an ear out. Eddard, you're Richard or Rick?
Call me Rick. It'll be easier.
Rick is fine. Rick, and you know me as the Lady Kebachet of House Aldahar.
Are you actually a noble?
Don't ask questions you don't need the answers to.
You got it, my lady.
And on that, we're gonna go on break and cut. Nothing
Let
makes
it
sense
go.
anymore.
Let it go.
Hey, we're here. Don't you dare sing this. I'm canceling the stream. Back we are again on that Maw station, and I think we'll try to do all three sort of at once. I'll ping pong from one to another, see where the characters are at any given moment. So we'll start with the club, the loudest place of the three.
Unz, 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 unz.
The unsi. Oh, I might have like club music.
Yeah.
But the unsi is playing very loudly.
It's Baby Shark.
Okay.
It's gotta be Baby Shark.
I don't know. I'm trying to find something.
Thanks.
I don't know
my
what-
kids are just indoctrinating me in those songs. I want to forget.
Oh, okay.
You'll never forget.
Baby
They burn in your brain forever.
Daddy Shark.
Wow,
This
let's
is why
just
I-
not do that. Let's just say that you're in the club.
It's a club, Baby Shark. You know?
It does unfortunately exist.
Oh, I'm not doubting that.
That's gonna be fine.
Hip hop version of Baby Shark.
Remix. Dubstep.
Music coming out of Roll
All right. Yeah, the music is coming out of Roll20. So,
Cool.
while the two of you, Willem Dafoe and Goth Doxy in the club,
Yeah.
What a mix.
It's
What do you do?
Gothsy.
Gothsy.
All right, so basically, I would be getting myself kind of like in a rig. I'd kind of make it look like there's like a little light show kind of happening. I'm just kind of like chilling in the corner, like doing a thing. But in reality, I would be fabricating some video of the meeting space that Zendak would be going to make sure that it was like at the right moment, it would capture the video that needs to be captured, and then go through kind of like a falsified path to make sure that nothing out of the ordinary seemed to have happened. So that way they have complete freedom to do whatever the hell they want and they don't get spotted.
So you're basically looping some of the video playback over and over to make it seem like it's natural that Zendak is in this room at this moment.
Oh, I mean,
Zendak should.
I'm going to be in the room the whole time actually doing things. I need the cameras, where I am completely unaltered.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah. No, like you want to help the contractors.
Right. Sorry.
So you're going to alter same thing but different people. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So I'm doctoring video, and then the other part of it would be also making sure that sensors don't trip if they do anything that would potentially trip some sensors. So essentially, I'm kind of giving them like a little bit of a firewall or a buffer.
All right.
That kind of thing.
I think I know how we're gonna play it. So Doxy, stay on mark.
Okay.
Every time something that could mess up with, or that they would mess up,
Yeah.
you'll be the one to try to fix
Yeah.
the problem.
I'm just doing the remix in the back, guys. I'm just doing the remix. It's cool.
Then let's move to a quiet, very much quieter place. Up in the Overseer's office. By the way, I have no idea what's that music playing. It sounds weird, but that's fine. I took a song called Nightclub Strip Club.
Oh no.
So, in the Overseer's office, let's call it the Overseer's office. What's happening? What is Zendak doing?
I imagine that there was some allegations that the firm wasn't paying taxes on a couple important shipments that recently came through, and Zendak is providing documents and statements that were definitely not coerced by other contractors from a separate team that shows that obviously the firm did in fact pay those customs and those taxes, and that this is just trumped up charges to try and interrupt completely legitimate business.
I was gonna say make a law check. There's no law and it's not a tool. Are you withholding or altering any of the information?
The information as I have it is the information that I was given was not altered by Zendak. It was provided to him by his employers as evidence of their defense.
Okay, so as a lawyer, you wouldn't be making stuff up, as we call it in the business. You would be, what is it? Fact saying? Fact stating?
Yes, I'm stating the facts, and I'm making a plea, to convince them that these are the facts as they are, and that the law says this. So therefore, let them, drop the charges.
Oh yeah. Whether or not you believe that you are in the right or in the wrong, or that the firm is in the right or in the wrong, has no bearing on the check that you're gonna make. So I'll say let's go with charisma persuasion. I think you also had a bonus or an advantage because it's law related.
Yes, I do. So let's see here. Where is my persuasion button? There's my persuasion button. So that's a 25. Mm-hmm.
The I keep calling him an overseer, but it would be the person responsible for the whole space station.
Mhm.
By virtue of the authority that is given to that gooey boy, we're gonna throw off the cake.
I'm sorry, sir. Your Honor,
Oh no, what I mean is you won.
I appreciate you understanding and seeing that clearly these charges were falsified to interrupt our businesses.
And you have your client, well, the person suing the firm, which is remote and, you know, attending through a video conference, if you will. And you see them fuming, and they seem to be, you know, rummaging through something off camera, and they're like, I can show you the evidence. I can prove to you that this firm is just a bunch of crooks and liars and thieves, and Where are my papers? Where's my data pad? I swear
So
to
I
the
think-
sun above, you are not going to get away with this. I know who you are.
You know what? I think you need to take a breath. I think you need to accept the fact that you lost today.
This is not over. You'll hear of me.
Oh,
And they hang up. And the Amoeboid supervisor looks at you and says, You're quite adept at wielding the laws of the galaxy.
you know what? The law, it's important. It protects everyone. So, I hold it in high regard.
If we ever get trouble here, I might just reach out to you. I have a card or something.
Of course. Here's my business card.
Thank you. And he extends his hand, his gooey hand, and you put the card in, and it just is absorbed in the thing, and it just releases it on the desk, and he's like, Brendak Highhill, I should stop moving away from my microphone.
Yes.
That is a brilliant name. Anything else I can do for you?
Anything you can do for me, just keep doing what you're doing.
All right, well, you have yourself a fine day.
You too, sir. And then, I'll continue on. And
Thanks, ma'am.
go through any other cases that the firm might have pending, and things like that. Just keeping busy.
Right, Lewis.
Created an alibi.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, goodbye now.
Yeah, bye.
And they go back to
Mm-hmm.
what they're doing, which is not a lot of things from what you saw while you were there. It seems like they're mostly playing on their game station.
Like a true bureaucrat.
Like a true bureaucrat. During that time, so we just, summarized the whole hearing and everything, but that took a good, 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Get through all the papers, get through the evidence that you had, testimonies, trying to reach out to that other person, have them come on to try to defend their point or whatnot. So it took, the rest of the group has about 2 hours ahead of them.
Mm-hmm.
How do they handle things?
Doxy is in charge of maintaining the video, so the evidence is entirely proper and correct. Kevichet has asked Eddard to act as her bodyguard.
Mm-hmm.
And she's moving through the promenade, occasionally stopping and kind of gesturing at things that she, the full lady of the manor. I'll take one of those and two of those. Pay the man.
And of course, I pay the man.
Oh, really? You do you? So, because
I'm gonna keep all the receipts.
Kebichet...
Fine. It's a business expense, dear. We're expensing it to the firm.
That's
Oh,
because Kebichet is pointing at random things, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna ask Kebichet to roll a D100 followed by a D4.
Okay.
where's my purse?
78.
times 1d4.
1.
All right, she cheaped out on that one. That's 78 credits.
I'm being very. It's a business expense. I'm very aware of how much I need to spend to make it look good, while still not, upsetting people about what my fees will be in the aftermath. And then she's slowly making her way up towards the bank where she knows that Golden Tree is. And it should it might take her like 15-20 minutes to do the whole thing to kind of get there, so it doesn't look like she's speeding up. Does that make sense?
Yeah, you're just touring the place and keeping the same pace you had. Is Willem Dafoe still at the club, or does he rejoin the entourage of Lady Dalanar?
I will assist with whatever pranks needed to be pranked at the club, but then I will exit and keep an eye on the.
All right. So as we see Kebichet, as we see Kebichet and Eddard making their way to the airlock and then thus to the tunnel, I think the image fades into what Doxy is looking at on his overlay. And there's you, and there's Doxy, side by side, leaning on the giant speakers. Now everyone can hear the music.
Yeah.
Yes. I just forgot my glow sticks.
So, what kind of shenanigans are you up to at the club?
Well,
I'm gonna put the sound down so we don't have to yell. Sorry for
What?
people with headphones.
okay, so give me kind of a layout of this club. What does this space goth club look like?
All right, it's in the shape of a say like a pentagon.
Okay.
So you come in through one of the sides. You have in each corners of the pentagon you have a bar. There's a center stage in the middle that is connected to one of the other sides. So it's like a long stage, like a catwalk almost. And because this is a space goth club, you have space cages hanging from the ceiling with where normally Twi'leks would be dancing, but in this case, it's gonna be a bunch of goth Skitaris doing a mosh pit. And I don't necessarily want to see that.
It's like a car crash. You just can't look away.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. This is a goth club. 90% of the patrons right now are all Drows.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
And
yeah.
tieflings. Because that's the type of things that they would,
Is one of them named Kadan?
Nope, he doesn't dance. He's in a corner. The DJ is this nautiloid creature, nautilid, with like a pimped out suit with like blinking lights.
Okay.
It's dark and smoky.
All right, so I kind of, I guess, like, while I'm just kind of like chilling in the corner, I'm kind of tempted to hijack the DJ and like slip in like a remix, like toss in like little subliminal messages to like suggest things to everyone in the room.
Okay. Like, what do you want them to do?
I actually I would look over to Shred and I'd be like, this is before Shred leaves. I'd be like, hey Shred, you want to make him dance? Because like I imagine everyone is kind of doing that like very subtle movement.
I mean,
or
we've
they have, like, their-
probably all been to a goth club. No one's actually dancing.
yeah.
They're just like, it's just a bunch of people acting like seaweed.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm just waiting for this to turn into the DJ battle from Hotel Transylvania 3, because we're talking classy movies here.
Oh, God. We need to end this with the Macarena. We don't have a choice.
Okay, I think that sounds great. Yeah, so I think the subliminal message will basically be like they have this compulsion, or this like subliminal message of like to start doing like the motions of the Macarena.
So you're just injecting some of the notes from the Macarena in like the different songs, and from time to
Yeah.
time people just go, wait, is that?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, make a technology check, I guess. Or hacking, if there's a hacking thing.
Okay. Well, there's data. I think is,
Data, then.
is one that,
Yeah.
that might be. I mean, it's all the same basically for me anyway. And Dredd, maybe you could be like the person, the William Dafoe in the middle of the dance floor. Just like I could spotlight you for a second, and kind of like slowly do the dance.
Like the creepiest Macarena ever.
Yeah. Just, and it won't be a drop down spotlight. It'll be from below.
Oh god.
All right, so it'll be a
Okay.
combined data and performance check. You both together need to reach a total of 40.
Wait, 40
Yeah.
in terms of.
So if you roll 23, you roll a 9.
Wait, oh man.
So
I mean, sorry, what?
Okay, you rolled a 2, that's how.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, I was like, how the hell?
Go ahead,
Uh,
Zred. Everything is on you. So you start dancing your Macarena as Willem
Like
Dafoe.
looking for social cues, like, is this right?
And you see from time to time some of the like a couple of drows in the crowd that parted when the spotlights appeared. They see you like sort of do it wrong, and they just low key try to show you how to do it.
Success! We made them do
There's,
the
like-
Macarena.
Yeah, there's like 2 people that follow, but it's
Hey,
Well,
we tried
you
new things.
succeeded in crashing the party.
Well,
Right.
real quick, can I say that we got a combined of 28? Because I'm so proficient in all these different things like data, technology, all that kind of stuff that I would have advantage on that kind of roll.
But it still isn't 40.
I
Because
know.
you're trying to subliminally affect a crowd.
That's fun. That was a lot of fun.
But
I'm
yeah,
doing my other
it's
stuff. That was more of a distraction. Like I have to keep my hands busy, you know. So like when I'm waiting for them, you know, it's like gotta do other things.
I think
Okay.
that's the moment that you were able to like to try and get the stuff hooked up that you needed to if you hadn't already.
Yeah, exactly.
Because everybody's watching me out there like a friggin' dumbass. Why?
I love it.
Like, why would people do this? Humans are so weird.
this is
Yes,
uncomfortable.
I'm
love
not
it.
your puppet.
Just wait till we get to our mating process. It's something.
You're
Oh,
muted,
man.
Deirdre.
Yeah, I know. And of course, it's like I'm getting all of this, telepathic running commentary about like, oh my god, why am I doing this? Humans are horrible. Me.
They're all staring at me.
Mm-hmm. You're not wrong. You're very true. You're doing a fabulous job. Just give it another 5
Everyone's
minutes.
so judgmental.
So heading out.
She gets into character in the goth club. She's like all emo and depressed. I don't know. Sorry, I'm not suggesting that everyone's depressed there, but anyway.
But we've all been there. So you, Kebichet and Eddard move on to the bank. Willem, do you run after them?
I think I will eventually catch up with them
Okay.
when I know that Doxy's has everything secured and can manage that independently.
All right. So, of that 2 hours, it takes about 20 minutes to get to where Mr. Golden Tree currently works. There's another 10 minutes of waiting in the lobby for Mr. Golden Tree to be available.
Oh no! She doesn't wait.
The secretary at the bank says, "I'm sorry. This is regulation. I can't do anything."
I'm sorry. Does it say anywhere on my person that I wait for a banker?
You don't have an account with us.
Darling, I have multiple accounts with you. The fact that you don't know what they are just says a lot. Now, I like you. I really like you. You're very nice. You haven't been very rude to me. I understand that in your position you're merely following your rules. However, you can inform Mr. Goldentree that I know he did not have an appointment, and didn't have an appointment all day because I had made sure that he cleared his schedule for me. And if he does not get out here in the next 10 minutes, I'll be more than happy to tell the owners of your bank that I'm going to be removing all of my money from it. So please inform Mr. Goldentree that he's keeping an A-class client waiting.
Make an intimidation check.
This is going to go very, very poorly. I
Oh,
want everyone to know that. I want everyone to know that.
That went really well.
She was
Bravo.
going to.
20.
Yep, she was going
it's
to
minus
ask
one.
you for like your account number, but you see just her hands trembling over the keyboard, and she moves a hand to a button next to her, presses it, and says, "Mr. Goldentree, you have a very important client that we cannot keep waiting. I'm sending them to you right away. It's the third door on your left. Would you like a refreshment beverage?"
Of course.
with
Yes,
it?
please. A mimosa would be lovely, dear.
Okay, I wasn't sure if you could. Do you need a straw?
are you insinuating that she needs a straw to drink a drink?
I've never. Never mind.
I understand the beak is very intimidating. It looks very nice, doesn't it? By the way, darling, Richard, make a note. This one we like.
This one we like, ma'am.
She comes back with like 2 mimosas, and she's shaking so much that the glass sometimes just touch one another and just clicking.
Thank you, darling. This way? Please
Yes,
show me.
third door, over there. Third door on the left.
Yep. And she just kind of lifts and pushes her staff and just knocks it slightly. Thank you, of course. Richard, the door.
Absolutely. Keep that drink for yourself. You're gonna need it. And open the door. She get with 2 drinks, right?
Yeah.
One for Richard and one, I suppose, one for myself.
for you, yeah.
Yeah, I tell her to keep the drink for herself.
Yeah, in the office sits a halfling. Fake tan, golden hair, in a tiny suit, stubby little fingers full of rings. And he's in the process of counting, like, actual physical currency, which, you know, is not something that transits often through the bank or whatever. But he's like going all Scrooge in his spare time. There's like varying heights of mounds of gold on his desk.
As we enter, I'd like to enter first and
Oh.
present Commission.
She would gesture for you to do so.
Ah. So I enter. I'm going to open a door. Does it open inward or outward?
It's a sliding door. Welcome to the future.
Oh. I'm going to take 2 steps inside and simply declare in a very, I don't want to say strong, in a very clear voice, this is Lady Kibishet of House Aldahar, here for a meeting.
And I've asked not to be bothered.
I'll take a step to the side, bow, and simply present with my hands.
I punched out half an hour ago. What is the meaning of this?
And she'll swan fully in with the staff extended and just go, door.
At this point, is Red with us, or?
Would Shred have caught up?
I think if I had, I'm just probably lurking around the lobby.
Okay.
Yeah,
Definitely don't feel like
I
belong
told,
in the garage.
yeah. You're
I'll get the door.
acting, yeah. And she's got the mimosa in one hand and the staff in the other, and she swans in and takes a drink. And it's really entertaining because it really does, like, she can lower her whole lower jaw to kind of fit the glass and then bring it back up. Sets it on the desk in front of him. Mr. Goldentree, you attempted to keep me waiting. Your employers don't like it when you keep me waiting. Now, Mr. Goldentree, you're going to tell me everything I wish to know about your attempts to defraud the firm, as she casts Zone of Truth on him.
What is this magic thing? What are you? And he reaches for his blaster, but
No, I reaches for mine first. Both of mine first.
He still has to make the saving throw against Zone of Truth.
yeah, what is the saving throw?
Where'd it go?
It's wisdom, right?
It's a wisdom save, and it is the spell DC. I can't find it right now. 16.
11. So he reaches for his gun, and when he sees Eddard pulling 2 weapons at once, you see he becomes visibly paler under his fake tan.
Is that,
And she
is
kind
that possible?
And she pulls up her holy symbol and then just kind of pulls something out from behind it and sets it on the desk. Taps the top of it. Now, you are incapable of actually lying to me. You can, I guess, restrain yourself from speaking, theoretically. But anytime I have to force your mouth open for me to actually hear a word that comes out of it, you press that button and I will incinerate you on the spot.
You're not even supposed to see that. Make a perception check.
My passive perception is 18.
Oh, you see it. Jesus, I barely moved my shoulder on camera. Jesus.
My passive perception is 18. How about Richard, darling? I think Mr. Goldentree needs a different chair, don't you?
Is there any other chair in the room?
No.
Well, I think he needs to be out of that one.
I'm gonna go around his desk.
Get your filthy paws off of me, you goddamn ape.
I'm gonna ruffle his head really good. I'm gonna pull the chair as far away from his desk as possible. Stand. Now.
Oh, it's a hover chair, so when you move it, he just falls on the ground.
And I simply look at him with one blaster point at him. Stand.
He stands up and he wipes his pants
I'm gonna wipe my hand on this because I'm pretty sure this hair was greasy.
as fuck.
As I said, Mr. Goldentree, you're going to tell me exactly why you attempted to defraud the firm, who you were, where, who, what, where, when, why, before I have to get very unpleasant.
I've been trudging in this office for the last 25 years of my life. I deserve to have paid vacation. The firm wouldn't want to give it to me, so I took it myself.
Really?
I really can't tell a lie.
I'm sorry. This is going to be Richard. I might actually have to up this one. Honestly, I'm sorry, Mr. Goldentree. Your services are no longer needed.
What do you mean? What are you gonna do to me?
Your contract has been cancelled.
Oh, I know what this means. You're not taking me. You're not bringing me anywhere. I didn't do nothing
She
wrong.
reaches out a hand and
No!
puts it on his head and casts false life on him.
No!
I keep an eye on the door.
False life just gives him temporary hit points.
No, it makes him look like he's dead.
No, that's not false life.
Oh no, not false life. Yeah. No, it's false life. What, did I do the wrong one? Which one is it?
You mean feign death?
Oh, feign death, yeah. Duh, wrong one. I get all the fun ones. I mean, we could go with vampiric touch if we wanted to, but I haven't been. Well, no, actually, I have been injured, haven't I? But no, I don't have that one prepared. Never mind. So we're not going to do that.
Yeah, you touch. It's a willing creature, though.
It's a willing creature. Yeah.
Yeah, so
never
he's
mind.
not willing.
Sorry. No, he's definitely not willing. It's fine. It's fine. I mean, see, Mr. Goldentree, you have two options. You can be conscious or unconscious. I prefer the former.
And I prefer getting away. And he presses another button on his desk, and there's a trapdoor that opens under him. But, yep, Doxy,
Yeah, would I be able to like disable all of his little secret gadgets?
you can certainly try.
All right. And would you argue that because I've been kind of like preparing myself and everything like that for these types of situations, monitoring everything that's been going on, would I be able to get some kind of advantage or some kind of boost or any kind of like that?
I'd say not in this particular instance, since this is very... Let's go out of the ordinary, out of the box.
Would me have pointing out already, because he's already monitoring my communication, that he was reaching under the desk for something, count as helping?
An assist, which would give me advantage.
Sure,
Right?
sure. Let's go with advantage.
Because he's already monitoring our
You're gonna have to beat a
Communication.
21.
Oh,
What?
That's what I rolled,
For-
baby.
For what?
Well, that his
Oh,
the DC of this trap, if you will.
All right. So what am I using? I've got technology, circuitry kit, data, interface kit. I guess it would be interface kit.
Yeah.
Yeah, a hacking interface allows you to use data to hack when you don't.
It's all the same anyway. It's all,
So let's go with data.
okay.
with advantage.
Even
Fuck yeah!
without advantage, you would have gotten it. So he presses the button. What do you think? How come this is not working?
And she just reaches out a hand that's kind of glowing with dark energy and bright blacks and purples, and reaches out. You really, really should have been nicer.
He's going for his pistol.
And you're going to look behind you now as the void opens up behind him. And she casts void light
You scare me.
So it's just 3 radiant damage.
He has to take a con save.
2 seconds. I lost his stats. Where are you? Where are you? No, there you are.
Yeah, I got a natural 19 on that one.
No, that's
gorgeous.
not him. Oh, there you are. +4 on his con checks.
He might win this one.
That's a
he
14.
No, he fails.
So he turns back and sees the glow of the void, and he's just transfixed, and he's like, what is happening?
I'm gonna say, let the void take you. It's the only way that this is gonna be painless.
And she pulls out her holy symbol and begins to push outward with it and casts Channel Divinity to summon the void pocket around him.
Oh, well called.
What does that do? I feel like it's not gonna be fun.
It's like the that magic
It's
item.
like a bag of holding
Yeah.
that's 64 cubic square feet that I can carry around on a point centered around my holy symbol for an hour.
Right. Remember when we talked? I could actually go into that portal thing.
Yeah, okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
I could. Now, that's if I'm being nice. If I'm being not nice,
It's
why are you freezing?
it's like a portable hole. The magic item. That's what it is.
Yeah.
So he
It's a portable hole through my holy symbol. Or I could do some serious damage to him, but I'm just going to create a
Yeah.
so you pokeball the banker.
Yep. Basically, put him into.
Gotta catch them all.
Yep.
The banker,
Oh man.
it just kind of subsumes him.
your holy symbol shakes once, twice.
I
Then
press
you
B
pray
really
down
quick.
B8, and then yeah, banker was caught. Dun, 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 dun.
Doxy, we're ready for cleanup.
Okay.
I'm going to push a chair back in place, like nothing has happened.
And she's gonna just breathe out and let everything settle. Pick up the glass. Cast thaumaturgy to just kind of open the doors. And stride out, stopping at the secretary. I'm sorry, I forgot to get your name earlier, darling. You are...
Me?
Yes, you.
Oh, Kim.
Oh, Kim, I'm going to make a point of calling your manager to say how wonderful you were. It's always good to see such professionalism behind a desk like this. Full marks, by the way.
I trust that your appointment with Mr. Goldentree was well. It went well.
Well, it's not your fault that unfortunately Mr. Goldentree was very, very rude to me. I will have to be speaking to his manager about this. I cannot handle rudeness.
I heard yelling.
Yes, he decided to call me. Richard, I can't even say it.
An unspeakable bird.
Oh,
That
I
doesn't
unders-
sound like an insult.
a bird person.
And I just point at her and say, would you call her a bird?
Well,
Darling, do I call you a
slam the
monkey?
desk and say, that is an insult worthy of annihilation.
I don't want to be annihilated. It's
It's
I've
all right.
never insulted anyone before.
Then, darling, I'm going to teach you a little lesson here, okay? Very important in your line of business.
Uh-huh.
You are representing the bank. You are the face of the bank.
Uh-huh.
You need to be aware of this.
Uh-huh.
Are you related to a monkey?
No.
then I am not a bird.
Okay.
Richard, the
My
door.
lady? Absolutely.
The weird gentleman in the lobby, he's been waiting for you. She
Yes,
points to
my,
Willem Dafoe.
And I just have the creepiest look on my face too. Like,
It's as if you don't know how her face works. And it's
She's gonna.
perfect.
Capuchet's gonna quickly go to mentally to Shred, looking at him. What name did you go with for this one?
I don't even know. I think I
Willem,
already forgot.
it's Willem Dafoe.
Okay. Defoe, go ahead and make sure that my ship is ready for transport. We are not staying here any longer than we have to be.
It'll be like, ran away. Like Gollum or some crap.
And she's going to stride out.
You're gonna need a cape to just go.
Yeah,
This is
just
my
like
crew,
cloak
everyone.
it. Just like that glow effect, you know?
You are professional scoundrels. That's what you are.
I have the
And
best
she's gonna-
crew.
She's going to stride out,
Oh my god.
and she's going to say, it's in her tapping the communication as she leaves. Doxy, we're ready for cleanup. Eddard, find me a airlock. We have a gentleman to dispose of.
At
Captain,
once.
Have a nice day. Come again.
I will definitely make a point of informing your manager of how good you were. Full marks, darling, full marks.
Mr. Goldentree's in his office. You can tell him right now.
No, your actual superiors. And she'll keep walking.
She is scared, and thus will not try to do anything. She's part of her is relieved that you're leaving.
That oh my god, that person of like
Yeah.
can seriously actually get me fired is now out of the door, and I can just like sit here and go, I'm okay now. I survived
well,
that.
Beyond getting fired, potentially die. Okay, so point of clarification, cleanup would be like the code word of like doctoring something or making.
What do
food
you
that-
want the video to? Because I'll keep your 26 in data because it's all part of the same hacking process anyway.
Sure.
What do you want your video to show?
So
Well-
go ahead. If you
I
have
would tell him that you want to show some level of argument, and then me getting up and storming out.
Okay. And then I would have the video show a trail of Golden Tree, basically leaving the station. And so it's kind of like a ghosted like departure where he left obviously in the Pokeball. But the video shows him physically walking and then like booking passage to his getaway. So
Yeah.
my just goes.
He went out the back door to run away. And
Yeah.
She took the little data thing back and stuck it behind her before she left.
Right, he used the trap door. So I would basically trigger that
Yes.
and then make it seem like he got his getaway, whatever. That way the person at the front desk wouldn't even know.
After I left.
Yes, after you left. Like I would show in the video him being terrified and be like, "Oh, I need to get out of here!" Like super fast, and then doing all
All right. Everything is doctored.
that.
And it doesn't seem like there was anything too wrong. There's an airlock. There's multiple airlocks actually wherever these tunnels reach one of the habitats. Let's call it like that. So within, maybe 10 minutes at most, you You get to one.
Should we warn our fearless leader that we have captured someone?
No,
Or
you
does it
shouldn't let me know anything.
Right,
no, we're
because
not
you-
letting him know anything. We're merely informing him that when the job is done, we inform him that the job is done, and we are meeting him.
plausible deniability.
Also, I'm going to be spending more of his money in a short while.
So we don't want to tell him about that.
Oh. Okay.
I'm sure he's very used to, well, at least the firm is very used to how I do business.
Okay. So do we make a grand speech to that little guy, or do we just space him?
No, we space him.
Okay.
We're not villains.
No? No.
We don't monologue for an hour and let him escape.
No, that's right. All right.
Doxy, you're monitoring this one too as well?
Yep. I got you.
Just before we attempt anything, I'd like to test out the airlock to make sure it opens up on the other side, closes,
Yeah.
reopen on our side, it works fine. I would hate for us to just throw it in there, close the door, and nothing happens.
No.
Like, aha!
No, you can... No, because ships will sometimes dock to that particular airlock if they have, especially for the bank, you're gonna have, like, reinforced, combat ships escorting money, the equivalent of, like, a Garda truck. A Garda truck with, like, all the fancy, private
Yeah, the
army
armored
that the
truck.
firm... Yeah, the armored truck with a private army the firm has hired to carry their wealth around. So yeah, the airlock works perfectly fine.
Okay.
I would tease Eddard and have like the warning lights start going when he's testing that, where he's like in the airlock, where it would like, warning, opening outer airlock doors. Warning.
When he's trying to open the inside and it just...
And then in your comms you hear, just kidding, and like everything.
I'm gonna get you for that. You're
So
not gonna see me coming.
you release Golden Tree into the wild.
Well,
Of the
the way I
airlock.
do it, the way we do it is because it's a double airlock, right?
Yep.
All right. So the way this works, the way this visually works in my head, the outer airlock door is closed.
Mhm.
The inner airlock door is open about that much, just enough for her to put the holy symbol in the space between the two airlocks and expel him out of the void space. Like kind of.
So
see it
you
kind of
want it to be
emerge,
exactly at the right moment where it goes through.
and you see it emerge outward in this kind of black inkiness, and he just kind of falls tumbling out. It's not an easy transportation if she doesn't like someone. If she's mad at someone, it's like really kind of rough, and he kind of falls end over end, and then she just closes the door. Waits for him to realize what's happening.
Well, as he's spinning outside, you notice he turns to you with like eyes wide open, clutches his neck.
Oh no, that door isn't opened yet.
Oh, okay.
That door isn't opened yet.
Oh, then yeah, he rushes at the door of the inside airlock and tries to bang on it.
Have a very nice trip, Mr. Golden Tree. And she opens the door.
And now the voids as
Praise to the void as all gives and it takes. As all things do.
Make a
I don't
religion check, please.
Oh.
who?
The priest.
Okay, just making sure.
While she does that.
Not
Oh,
2024.
Nice.
There's a flash of like dark light when you say your prayer. And in an instant the body was there. The other the body is just disappeared.
Did I see that?
An offering to the void.
I'm gonna look at Kibish and just stand slack-jawed in front of her.
You're pretty sure, even Kebichet, with your high perception, you're pretty sure that there was a hand that grabbed the halfling. Like a dark, blackened hand that just dragged them into the void.
So
Are
Doxy
you
would.
okay? Are you okay, Richard? We have more work to finish.
Right. That is going to haunt me for a little bit.
You've never had an interaction with a divine being before?
No. That's
Ah.
as close as it's ever gotten.
Oh, you're one of those unfortunate people who talk to a distant star that shines bright and cold.
Not even. That's a first.
Well, my deity and divine inspiration speaks to me on occasion.
And
like to give it
grabs
gifts.
people out of thin, well, air.
Well, no, in this case it was an offering that we were planning to make anyways. The captain merely said that the individual had to experience going out of the airlock. He didn't say anything about what happened after he left the airlock.
Fair
And I
enough.
hate a mess.
All right. I'll
Oh,
be thinking about that for a little bit.
It smells of fear in the airlocks, Red. I can just see Willem Dafoe going against the window of the airlock, like,
If you've ever seen that gif of him in the backseat of a car,
And you just hear in your head, "Remember, darling, we're working."
Just curious, Simon. Is there also after notes of urine?
oh yeah, the rest of the non-psychic people smell fear pee.
I'm not gonna open that door. I don't want to smell that.
the two smells are always together for a Roth or Rothy, you know, always.
And she's gonna say, "Doxy, you've got this one to clean up. Don't worry about the remains; they've been taken care of. I have some shopping to do. Come along, Rick. I feel I need a new dress."
All right. My purse is not infinite, however. I might need help with the funds.
If that's okay, darling. Remember to keep the receipts. This is all part of our billables.
We have billables?
Of course.
One thing that Kebashet would know is that Zred is trying to find any kind of like Roth technology or like any kind of Roth stuff. So if you see anything, like if you happen to notice any symbols, like, oh yeah, there's some underground Roth tech here or something, you
Oh yes. Should be on the
Maybe-
lookout for it.
yes. Not saying that
So
we
she could-
would find any, but
Well,
you'd know that.
Yeah.
regrouping in the promenade. I can
Oh.
tell the group two things.
There is also stuff I'd like to make.
Yep, that's what I was
After
going to say.
Okay.
You find either the kiosk for DD&D. You meet up with Zendak, the rest of the group. Or maybe you don't, if Zendak doesn't want to be seen with you publicly.
Not till we're back on the ship.
All right. So
I mean, he's already been seen with us entering, but it was not.
Minimize contact. So
Yeah.
like
he was giving you a ride. That can be easily explained that way.
Yeah.
And Zred, Kebashet finds not just Roth tech, but an actual Roth vendor hidden away in a corner. Like, you know, in shopping malls, when you want to go to the bathroom, there's like this long corridor that goes nowhere, and then the bathroom. Well, if you keep going down that corridor, there's actually a lone Rothian sitting on a carpet with baubles in front of him.
I will definitely go there.
I'm gonna go to the bathroom while she do that. Yeah, I won't know anything.
You
Well, I don't know that you've ever seen me as a Roth.
Nope. I just happened to go to the bathroom.
Like, oh, that.
All right, so just to make sure, each one of you has a scene, and we'll go through all of them, and then we'll end tonight's episode. It's gonna be
Got it.
nice. Everything taken care of on the space station, on the Mars station. So who wants to go first?
Go with Red first.
Go down the corridor.
Okay.
Are you still looking like a human?
I think so. Yeah, I wouldn't have changed out because that scares so many people. We're scary boogeymens. So,
When you approach this Rothian, they, compared to you, are very drab looking. No jewelry, no ostentatious garment, but half of their like hammer shark like head is missing. You can see the scar tissue. It looks like it was cut by like plasma or a very, very sharp, because the cut is clean. Mind you, slightly diagonal, so it's not like an amputation. It's probably a blow from, you know, a laser sword or something like that. Or a very clean hit by a sharpshooter. And he looks up at you with its one remaining eye. It's like, in your mind you hear, "Move along, human, you do not belong here."
I will just respond back in telepathically in Rothian. Like, you know, not everything is what we appear to be. How did you get here?
Why do you wear their skin?
So that they don't hunt me and try to kill me? How have you survived so long in this place?
Pride.
Fair.
What is it you wish?
How are you surviving out here? Like, do you have some sort of, you know, access to the whatever the energy it is that we feed off of? I wasn't mentally prepared for this type of interaction, so I don't have all my questions like ready, basically. But or like, where can I find more information about how to survive out here until I can get back home? And are you trying to get back home?
I'm not. I don't have a home. I was left for dead. And he
So
points
was I.
to his half head.
Fair.
Surviving is hard. But I have found a way. People don't like it. But on a Moss station, people go missing from time to time.
Because I've tried that. So I'm like, I wonder what it is that it's doing that I'm not. That I haven't done.
And he like sweeps his trinkets aside, which you notice are basically like just baubles and other various like keepsakes that he must have either found in the trash or what have you.
Stolen from his victims, probably.
Most probably, and none of them are in very good condition. But he gets a jar out, like a mason jar, and inside are 3 of these glowy blue cockroaches.
Oh.
When you feed a human these critters, get their brain while they're under its effect. And you can live for 1 more day. It is distasteful and does not procure much enjoyment. But it's all I got. I can sell you some of them.
I can find another way, I think. Thank you.
Then, and he puts the jar back into his like messenger bag. He's like, I've heard of another way, but I've never seen it. Sorry, everyone. I'm allergic to blue cockroaches. He says, Psy worms.
Hmm.
The Psy
I-
worms of Chiron.
I squirrel that away in the back of my mind. I nod. Okay. What can I do to help you? I don't want to say brother because that's not really true, but like we have a camaraderie of some kind, at least.
He hands you a pamphlet.
I take it.
It's a movement called Free Wrath. Or
Oh.
the way they write it is froth.
Ever since you said brother, I can't help but imagine like Randy Savage and Hulk Hogan. Brother.
That's exactly what it sounds like too in a row. Brother.
Snap into a Slim Jim!
And I'll nod.
He's like,
Crossing biceps.
this is for us outcasts and exiles. For the lost. Those who do not wish to go back home. If you want to stake a claim in the galaxy for yourself, follow these steps. You will meet many of us Frothians. You have to remember, they don't really know.
Yep.
Like, they don't understand the irony or the... Yeah.
Yep. And I'm like, wow, that has a nice ring to it.
I know, us as humans and players, we get the
Yeah.
joke.
Yeah, but for them,
But
it's
Red
just...
is like, wow, yeah. It still wants to get home, but it may not have that choice, so it'll.
The way you look at the pamphlet, it's like a self-help group of lost Rothians who they meet up online every month and they swap stories and they try to help one another in a weird way because, well, Rothians tend to be very self-centered and independent once they break away from the hive mind. So it's baby steps, but they essentially find places where they try to identify places where food can be procured, which is probably the most interesting thing there is in this whole pamphlet.
All right, I will thank it again and try to meet back up with everybody else.
All right.
I'll put some credits down and take some baubles.
Sure. You get a half-bent elven bracelet.
It's got blood smeared in it. Totally.
Yeah.
Maybe you got some like latent psychic energy. It's like
I can smell it. That nice irony smell.
Yeah, but you also smelled that the other guy like ate it before, so
it's like second help or
second-hand food. Yeah, it's like when you find almonds at your grandma, but she doesn't have teeth, and she bought recently a bag of chocolate-covered almonds. Give it a
That's
check.
really
Why?
specific.
Who hurt you, Simon?
Technically, almonds. They chipped one of my tooth.
Oh God.
So, Kibichet. Hi. Are you shopping?
Oh, she's working her way through some of the stores and making it very obvious that she had absolutely nothing to do with that gentleman after she left the bank.
Are you just passing snide comments to about everything you see, or?
Not everything. A majority of it. It's like, okay, that is very obviously a knockoff. If you're going to at least try, could you at least be a little bit more? The label goes on the inside, not the outside. Please,
Like,
try not to sell the knockoffs. At least that, obviously.
it's an airport, so think of it as not only are they knockoff, but they're very expensive knockoffs. The markup is very, very high. But there's a few things, like there's a souvenir shop where they sell like chips of the bones of the maw creature, little snow globe with a tiny maw in it.
She's
There's some
man.
stuff.
she's gonna kind of go through it and just kind of go, no. Ah,
I
I know
went
some-
through the void and all I got was this lousy t-shirt.
she's actually going to look for like a child-sized T-shirt that says
There are
that
some. There are some.
for Doxy.
No.
There's one.
Yes.
There's clearly one.
Oh, jeez.
And it's like, oh, my nephew will absolutely adore this. It's tacky as hell, but he'll appreciate it.
And the vendor is an amoeboid, of course. And they're like,
Of course you do. I would recommend, however, and she's also working. Can you I'm sorry, I'm usually better about passing through, but unfortunately, some of my luggage was lost in transit. Do you and I know you are very used to this. I need a better tailor. Down the corridor to the left? To the left or to the right? I'm sorry. Raymond Banks.
No. Run. Base.
Okay, I honestly didn't get that one. I'm sorry.
Right. Base. And he types in on a keyboard. He says, "You'd better go to Elven Space for good tailors." Puts it back down.
That makes sense.
He picks it back up and writes, "That'll be $7.75." He
For
points
the
to
insult?
the t-shirt.
Oh, the t-shirt, yes. Darling, don't you know? I'm sorry I have to be the one to tell you this. The elves use slave labor to create all their goods. I wouldn't trust any of their markups. I saw the swatch. I know you don't, but some very important members of your purchasing clientele would have some serious problems if it got out you were using sweatshop labor to produce your goods now, wouldn't it? Or more accurately, that you were choosing sides in a religious war.
Right.
Not all of them, darling. Not all of them. Science is a joy, but let me show you something.
Is it
Probably
appropriate?
not for you. Depends. Why don't you look at this?
Are you?
No, I'm not going to. No, I'm not going to suck him into the Pokeball. She just pulls out the holy symbol, and it starts glowing and casting light out of it. And she's going to use thaumaturgy behind him to start making the shadows darken and expand outward.
You see like his. It's weird because they have eyes like all around their
Yeah.
thin nucleus, whatever, and they just blink. And he's like,
Hmm. No, this one isn't magic. It's just a god who speaks to me on occasion. But have a very pleasant day. Also, by the way, that young gentleman right over there tried to steal from you about 2 seconds ago. Hmm?
You didn't pay me.
Yes, I did.
Okay, let's take the market off your character.
No, the credits are on the desk.
No, I
darling.
said just make sure to mark it off your character sheet.
Yes.
Moving on to
That's not like it's gonna be a problem.
I figure. Doxy.
Like it's like every duty-free shop I've ever been to.
Yep. Hmm?
And then she's just going to walk out and just kind of find herself a very nice little bar, airport bar to sit in and order a couple rounds.
All right. Doxy, what was your scene with?
So I can't remember the name of it. Maybe Justin or Simon, you can help me with this. There's a Navigators Guild.
Astrogation.
The astrogation. I had the page up.
Astrogation something or other guild. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it might just be the Astrogation Guild, but
Incorporated.
yeah. So incorporated.
Yeah. Astrogations Incorporated.
Okay. So yeah. So Doxy would.
Or AI, for sure.
Oh yeah. That's why I was so intrigued by it. Okay.
That may or may not be on purpose.
So yeah, so Doxy would want to see if there was a local astrogation.
There is. There's a local kiosk for almost any of the faction except the Cabal.
Okay.
Actually, the Cabal's pretty open.
Yeah, but I mean, in this place, you won't see the Cabal and you won't see the SS St. Vincent either.
Oh, okay.
Just this particular one. I'm not putting them everywhere. Yes.
That's fair.
So so he would wander over to the Astrogations Guilds, or Astrogation. I can't say that word very well.
It's okay.
Astrogations Incorporated. There we go. And I guess like the main thing that I'm looking for is he would be trying to update his charts, finding out information about his parents, and like he doesn't really know where they were necessarily, and so he'd be. Yeah, so I guess I don't have like a set scene that I want to play out necessarily.
But you're trying to find info on what happened to your parents.
Yeah, and he would be interested in like seeing if the Astrogations Guild had some sort of link up that he could connect with.
What is so to help them try to find them? You would need to give them some information. What do you give them?
I guess it's less of like me wanting them to help me find them, and more of like I need more information to piece together the clues, which we haven't actually talked about yet. So,
Which is why, as I'm talking, I was trying to bring up my knives sheet, and I was like, I don't see it in there.
yeah. No,
what-
but there is a thing about the parents, but nothing about the.
Okay, so what we'll do is, from afar, we see you deal with the Astrogations Inc. Vect, who's at the counter, and he'll hand you information in exchange for like 10 GP worth of like fees and whatnot. And what I'll do is, beginning next week, at the start of the session, we can either roleplay it out, or I can just give you, paraphrase all the stuff that you can get, that they can give you at least for what info they have. Of course, you could pay a retainer's fee and have them try to look into it. But normally that's something that, maybe a bounty hunting guild,
Yeah,
like Grax's Mercenaries, or even...
I'm more of thinking. I'm more of
okay.
thinking them as like a means to an end, where it's like I'm interested in the science of what they're doing, as well as I think it'll lead towards me discovering what I need to know
all right.
to able to uncover the information I
Just before we go to Alex and Justin, I'll be right back.
Okay.
have.
And that's how we can plot the rest of the game without
Yeah.
anyone to do anything about it.
But he
Well,
can still
I know
hear
he
us.
can. I know,
I know.
but he can't reply.
No, it's okay. You just see this image of Kebachet relaxing and, the full Elizabeth Taylor sitting at a bar, kind of.
And
Of
she's
course.
rereading over her contract, being excited about billables, and realizing that she only gets refunded on half of them.
No. She gets all of it. Remember, the contract isn't with you, it's with your boss.
Incorrect. The contracts are drafted
Oh, no.
by the manager who hires the contractor specifically.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
And well, she wrote in. She has a standing contract with your boss that all of her expenditures are repaid in full, as they are required for her job.
Did you
What
just
happens
go
when you-
above your head?
She
I think she just did.
I mean, she did just take the LSATs, right? So she can definitely outlawyer you. Oh man.
I'm sorry, my body is really, really well timed, and it knows that 11 is when we finish normally. I heard that kerfuffle about the contracts and everything. We'll see about that.
It's not a kerfuffle.
I'll be the one to judge. To be the judge. But Eddard, same
Yes.
thing. You go to the DD&D kiosk.
That's right.
What do you ask them?
Well, I gave them my family's name, give them my planet of origin that I clearly know of.
It's the main Lakshay planet.
Well, I gave it
Which
a name
I
on my
figure
end.
it's Lakshay Prime.
Okay, I'm gonna have to change what I wrote in my bio because I wrote something else.
Let me just check. Yeah, it used to be an outpost called Lakshay.
Well then, yes. I'm trying to look for any information, and we try to go back as far as possible.
And your last name being...
Cade, Kade.
They're gonna start searching.
Who am I dealing with exactly? Is it a person, a computer?
Yeah, it's a dwarf. And he says we found a few traces of it. The Cade family.
How far back?
Well, the last one is about 100 years ago.
Okay, and who is it?
He turns to you. It's like a print, like a screenshot, if you will, of what would be like an article that the last. I was gonna say High Regent, but that's probably not the title I'm looking for. I am looking for. Yes. So the Cade family. Cade was a nickname, if you will. The last Cade who was deposed was said to be a distant relative to General Sun Wukong, the man who established Lakshay. So Cade never was a proper last name.
Never.
Cade was the name given to that person. First name. Like as a nickname, if you will. So somewhere, somehow, you inherited this last name, not knowing exactly who it's from, or at the very least it could be from someone who held this person in high esteem. Because you remember your parents had the same last name.
Mm-hmm.
Probably their parents before had the same last name. From what you can remember, probably. Do you remember your grandparents, Eddard?
I'm gonna go with no.
They probably had the same last name. Your best, and that's what the dwarf tells you, is your best next step would be to try to go back home. Try to find other members of your family. We can dig up old shit, artifacts, items, information. Sometimes, especially if it happened, let's call it recently in DD&D terms, within the last century, you're better off trying to check with your folks, try to check with those that you knew.
It'd be pretty hard. All those I knew at this point have passed away.
Well, tough luck.
Can you search for the name every so often and give me results back? If results differs.
Well, for about 50 credits a month, I can do that for sure.
$35. 1 month.
Alright, I'll search once more in 30 days for 35 gold pieces. Well,
Got it.
credits. Cha-ching.
This is getting expensive, Alex. Yes, I know.
Oh, you've been living a lie. During that time, this was all happening at the promenade. Elsewhere.
Oh, when I'm done, I'm gonna
Okay.
go and seek out Kibishit.
Good. So you're sitting at the bar. I figure the whole group is sitting at a bar. And then we'll move to Zendak. You are meeting with friends you have from the station in one of the docks. It's like a giant warehouse of steel and crates, and right now it contains no ship, but a few spare parts. And the whole group couldn't attend today.
Mm-hmm.
You only have 2 of them, clad in their civilian attire. Both of them hiding their faces beneath a silvery, like, plate mask. Kind of like just the front of an armored helmet, mostly.
Mm-hmm.
They're armed, but none are, standing at the ready.
You managed to retrieve our hopefully future friend.
Yep.
Can I see him for posterity's sake?
They move to one of the crates, open it up, and inside is a crying, half-naked, golden-haired halfling.
So, Mr. Golden Tree, you remember me?
You're that little brown noser.
Sure, you can call me what you want. You're the one in a crate. So, you've got 2 choices. You see my esteemed associates here have opted to save you from the fate of the airlock. So you can either turn state's witness, and you can report the firm's doings that, are less than legal, to my friends here and work with them, fully cooperate, or we can just put you back out that airlock.
What the fuck is this kind of thing? Or what trick are you pulling on me? I know you're part of the firm. I know you. You're the one who accepted that contract.
Yeah, that's what I want you to think.
Are you
That's
the
what I want the rest of them to think too.
You sent that creature against me. That Avera wizards of some such.
Cleric, but yes, I did.
She put me in the dark, and then she spaced me out.
Yeah, that's what I told her to do.
And now you want me to help you. I don't know.
So you want to go back out? And I point toward a nearby airlock.
So you just torture people into what? You're torturing them for the firm, is that it? It's just-
No. You see, I'm working to take down the firm. Working from within, brick by brick. And you're gonna help me, or you're gonna go out that airlock like they wanted you to. Now, you have no reason to help the firm. I was under orders by them to put you out that airlock. So, you can either A, help me get revenge on the people that were going to kill you, or B, you can die.
And he looks at the other two. And they make no threat. They hold no posture that would be threatening or anything. And he's like,
And who are you then? Trying to take down the firm?
Well, let's say that we're a special order of knights within the Sepulchre. Operating adjacent to the law.
It's some sort of like, what the team that they call when the law can't do anything? Some sort of like Plan B team?
The
You know what?
A-team.
You can call us what you want to call us. I've heard names from the Untouchables to the A-Team to just so many others. I've lost count of names that I've been called.
Alright. I'll fucking testify.
I thought you would. That's why we saved you.
and as he says that, the crate is closed back on him. And one of the knights just taps twice on it, and that's when we're gonna end tonight.
Oh.
Listen here, somebody spaced him, and then the void grabbed him. You're gonna have to explain that.
The
Oh,
void?
there's a spell called Dimension Door.
There is.
Don't ruin the secret.
There is. I'm very aware of what Dimension Door looks like. She would know what Dimension Doors look like on a nat 20 for religion check.
But
The nat
not
20 was for your
necessarily this
prayer,
one.
not for determining what the spell effect was.
No, for seeing it though.
It
Although I did see it.
It did look identical as the void opening up. That I'm not lying about or hiding information.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Okay.
That being said,
I thought it was amazing.
secrets.
Oh, it's great.
Secrets.
I mean, this has been a show of secrets, guys. Like that's all this is. That's all this
Yes.
is.
Not like Kebichet has any secrets.
You have
Uh huh.
She's really public and open with all of her problems and all of her everything she does.
You have yet to explore the rest of the ship, and technically the clock is ticking on that delivery of the laser.
Yeah. We gotta get going.
there's one last scene before we leave for tonight. I know
Oh.
we're going overboard a bit, so I'll keep it short. A bit like what we did during the other episode. This is unbeknownst to you, but as seen for the audience and everything. And it takes place in a nondescript dock. As amoeboids are moving crates, refueling a ship and everything. And there's this human who comes up to speak with one of the amoeboids. And they seem to be in a very heated argument. And the man says, I only do what I'm told. I don't know who paid for it or anything, but it was a lot of credits and I need to have it right away. And the amoeboid reluctantly gives the man a heavy white cylinder. The guy takes it. It seems to have a hefty weight to it. And he thanks the amoeboid and he just throws like a handful of platinum pieces his way. And leaves with it. And the direction he leaves, when he opens the door from his hangar, you can see the Scarlet Trust.
Her ship.
That's where we're gonna end.
Ah, fudge.
Twitch is gonna have a spastic moment.
So, we'll skip outros for now. We did a bit of intros. People have seen your handles. We're running overboard tonight. Thank you everyone for staying and having fun with us and discovering all the secrets.
Secrets.
I am being told that I should also advertise the fact that this Saturday we're holding our first on Wandering DM, our first charity game for the Trevor Project. If you want to come, if you want to watch, all the donations and proceeds will go to the Trevor Project, which is a great charity. If you don't know about it, they help members of the LGBTQ community dealing with anything from mental health issues to finding resources, if memory serves. We'll be playing Pulp Cthulhu, continuing our Pulp Cthulhu campaign. If you want to fuck our characters up or help us, anything that you do to affect Saturday's game at 3 p.m. will be given to the Trevor Project.
How many bits for you to drink more whiskey?
I don't know, as many as you want to give.
Hey, Simon.
Yep.
For that fundraising charity stream, anyone who donates, go ahead and give them a copy of the Lovecraft Handbook.
Oh, thank you.
You've heard it live here. I'm also going to note that down. The Lovecraftian Handbook from Mage Hand Press. For any donations on Saturday, I'll announce it also on Twitter. Thank you very much, Justin.
No problem.
And thank Vecna, I guess. Have a wonderful evening, everyone.
Thank Vecna.
And we'll see you next week for another
no
Dark
wonder.
Matter. Bye-bye.